NPC stands for non-playable character, and is used as a metaphor to describe someone who is perceived as lacking independent thought or critical thinking. The term originates from video games and refers to characters that are controlled by the game's artificial intelligence, rather than by actual players. People exhibiting NPC-type behavior may seem as if they lack independent thought and/or reasoning when it comes to discussing their own beliefs and actions. These types are often described as soulless empty vessels that seem to be lacking human qualities. They act as though they are a part of a collective, a hive mind. The term hive mind originated from the way that social insects like bees and ants behave as a coordinated unit. This term can also be used to describe the collective thoughts, ideas, and opinions of a group of people who seem to function as a single entity. The concept of the hive mind can be found in fictional stories, movies, and shows like Stranger Things. In the show Stranger Things, the Mind Flayer was a name used to describe a fictional shadowy entity that originated from an unknown alternate dimension. The entity consists of black particles linked together through a group intelligence. The Mind Flayer has supreme control over the Upside Down via a psychic connection with other demonic entities known as the Demogorgons, Vines, and Demobats, forming a shared hive mind. Possessed humans known as the Flayed also comprise part of the hive mind. This meant that the entirety of the Upside Down was essentially one gigantic organism, with all its contents and agents mentally connected via the Mind Flayer. The entity's first known encounter with humanity occurred in the 1950s, when a young child named Henry Creel was accidentally transported to Dimension X. Upon returning home, Henry found he had gained special psychokinetic abilities, but was also vulnerable to the entity's influence, making him use his powers to commit violent acts. For the Mind Flayer's hive mind to work, the monster must infect an individual. In doing so, the victim would act as a host body for the Mind Flayer's possession. This occurred with both Will and Billy, causing the characters to serve as spies in the primary dimension. By infecting and possessing other humans within Hawkins, the Mind Flayer was able to build a Flayed army. A being that is able to infect and control a large group of people like a hive mind seems at first glance to be an idea that can only exist in the realm of fiction, like the Mind Flayer in the show Stranger Things. But as French philosopher and author Albert Camus once said, "Fiction is the lie through which we tell the truth." Scientific research into parasitic infections showed that parasites can influence a human's behavior, particularly the parasite Toxoplasma gondii. Studies have linked this parasite with potential behavioral changes, like increased risk-taking, aggression, and even altered personality traits in humans. This parasite is suspected of making people more reckless, and even being liable for certain cases of schizophrenia. Studies have shown that people with schizophrenia are more likely to have antibodies to T. gondii than the general population. Aside from parasites being associated with major mental illnesses, among the people they infect, these parasites have also been shown to impair various cognitive abilities in their host, such as information processing speed, learning, memory, attention, verbal fluency, and critical thinking skills. Poor impulse regulation, including violent and risk-taking behavior, is another potential consequence of parasite infection. Latent T. gondii infection has been associated with increased human trait aggression and impulsivity among men and women. Research shows that these mind control parasites can cause significant deficits in working memory, cognitive performances, and overall impulse control. It seems that one potential cause of NPC-type behavior among humans is parasitic infection. Those who tend to act like a soulless, non-playable character also seem to be lacking an internal monologue. According to statistics, only 30 to 50% of people have an internal monologue. An internal monologue is also known as interpersonal communication or inner speech. It is that internal voice we hear in our minds when thinking or reading. An inner monologue has been found to have cognitive benefits across a wide range of domains, including planning, problem solving, self-regulation, self-reflection, emotion regulation, and perspective taking. Some studies have suggested that having a well-developed inner voice is indicative of higher cognitive function, specifically in areas such as problem solving and decision making. Those who lack these seemingly natural human abilities also tend to put a lot of focus on cheaper debaucherous pleasures, such as sex, consumption of alcohol, drugs, and gluttony. All activities that just so happen to increase and promote parasitic infection. If demonic parasites are responsible for the NPC phenomena, then who is in control of these dangerous parasites that have the ability to turn their host into cognitively impaired, soulless zombies? Within the Bible, Beelzebub is known as the prince of demons, pestilence, filth, and disease. He is also given the title Lord of the Flies. He is the being that fans the flames of war and lust. He also possesses human bodies to carry out horrific acts. Beelzebub can spread plagues and sicknesses throughout the world. He is the being that is responsible for the demonic parasites that infect humans and take over their mind. In both the Old and New Testament, God tells us that the bodies of those who transgress the commandments of God have worms that never die. Many of God's commandments have a lot to do with preventing parasitic infection and/or casting out demonic parasites that have control over our bodies. All throughout the Bible, God gives us commandments to keep our temples clean and prevent our bodies from being an abode for demonic creatures. Within the Old Testament, God gives us health protocols to follow, which includes dietary guidelines on meats that are fit for human consumption and unclean meats that are to be avoided. Decades of observable scientific research into unclean animals, such as pork and shellfish, has shown us that these are the animals that contain the most dangerous parasites. Within the Bible, God even refers to these unclean animals, like the swine, as an abomination, a word that is also used in the Bible to describe demonic spirits. Within the Bible, the word abomination is something that is regarded with disgust and is seen as detestable in the eyes of God. God even states in the book of Isaiah that those who consume abominable unclean animals like the swine and mouse shall be consumed themselves. Within the book of Isaiah, we are given the dangers of defilement, as well as the consequences of disobedience to God's commandments. Those who consume these animals are more likely to be consumed with Beelzebub's plagues, like the demonic worms that don't die and those who transgress God's commandments. Along with following God's dietary commandments, God also instructs us to properly salt our clean meats. With every meat offering that we give, our offering is never to be lacking of salt. Recent studies into the gut shows us that an unbalanced gut bioelectricity provides a pathway for bad bacteria to cause diseases. Scientists have discovered this electric current within the gut that attracts pathogens like salmonella. Bioelectricity in the gut is the electrical energy that allows cells to communicate and maintain homeostasis, which is the process of maintaining a stable internal environment within a cell, ensuring optimal conditions for essential cellular functions like metabolism, growth, and survival. This stability allows cells to function properly and resist disruptions from external changes, ultimately contributing to the overall health and survival of an organism. Proper dietary salt is vital for a balanced bioelectricity. Minerals and electrolytes in the body, such as potassium, sodium, and calcium, are responsible for the electrical energy that allows cells to communicate and maintain homeostasis and prevents a pathway for these parasitic demonic creatures. One of the most important commandments when it comes to ridding the body of demons is proper fasting. Jesus stated in the book of Matthew that there are some powerful demons that may only be cast out through prayer and fasting. Many scientific textbooks dealing with ridding the body of intestinal parasites stress the importance of fasting. God's commandments reflects observable reality. Within the book of Proverbs, God urges us to not forget His commandments and promises us that by observing His laws, length of days, a long life, and peace will be added to our lives. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope this video was very fruitful. I hope this video aided you in understanding of the importance of God's commandments, and that something that seems as small as the dietary guidelines are incredibly important. But I appreciate you guys watching. If you would like to support this channel, I do have a Patreon. The link to that is in the bio. Please like, share, and if you enjoyed, subscribe. Thank you so much. Till next time.